Grandstand cricket.
Hi, I'm Usman Khawaja. ABC Grandstand, your home of cricket.
Australia versus India.
On ABC Radio.
Grandstand Digital. Online.
And now on the ABC Listen app.
Bright sunshine in the evening here at the SCG. And India trying to turn this game around after a wretched start. Australia had them 3 for 4. Yep, 3 for 4. 2 LBWs and Virat Kohli darting the ball straight to Stoinis at square leg. Jai Richardson had 2 and Behrendorff 1. The tyros in this Australian side doing a very good job. So Siddle's back and he's bowling a ball that's short and it's clubbed away towards the point boundary. It's hit too well. It's gone for 4. Excellent shot off the back foot from Dhoni, who moves along to 20. And the crowd sounds like we're in Bangalore or Mumbai or maybe Eden Gardens. And Chetan Narula, good evening to you. How are you?
Good evening, Jim. Good evening to our listeners. And I'm very well. I think India are starting to breathe in this game again after that partnership. We could have been in Ranchi, though, and we would get the same noise on that cracking boundary from the bat of MS Dhoni.
Well, I'm sure they're relieved to see him do that as Siddle bowls through and he lets it go outside the off stump. Very strong crowd here, but I'd say 60-70% Indian support.
I was in the stands just now talking to a friend and we were sitting there for 4-5 overs. I think 80%.
80%.
Maybe more than that.
They make more noise than the Aussies too.
Absolutely. But what I do remember is when Virat Kohli got out and started his long walk back to the pavilion, there were 5 Australian fans there, very brave, standing and cheering in a stand full of Indian fans.
Well, I hope they haven't had too many refreshments yet. Siddle bowls to Dhoni. Dhoni plays away to the offside. But it does beg the question, watching Dhoni here after we'd seen Pant, especially with his superb batting in the Test series, how close is Dhoni to the end of his career? He's obviously got the World Cup signed, sealed and delivered because he's got a bit of clout, hasn't he, in Indian selection?
I think he's pretty close in the sense that it's obviously a struggle.
It's been a struggle here as Siddle bowls to him and he pushes away to mid-off. It's just taking a lot longer to get into stride. I think he scored 6 runs off about 35 balls.
Doesn't help India's innings whenever he's batted like this, and he's batted like this over the last year or so. I was just checking his averages in strike rate, 74 or 5 on last year, 2018, compared to a career strike rate of 87. And in 2017, his career strike rate was 89 plus.
Siddle goes rushing up to him. He's back and he chops the ball away on the offside through the infield for a single to deep point. Well, he's now 25 off 59, which by my basic mathematics is somewhere under 50.
Yes, and that's the underlying point. Because of his low strike rate, India's innings starts to stutter every time he's batting like this. So the question here is, or in fact there are 2 questions. Can India afford to drop him at this late stage from their World Cup plans? To my knowledge, I think not. And the second question is he batting at the wrong spot in the order? Would he be batting higher up at maybe number 4?
Rohit Sharma's facing Siddle now and he goes forward and plays the ball softly towards mid-off. It's 3 for 73 and India have now faced how many overs? They've disappeared. But that is the end of the over.
21 overs gone.
21 overs, 3 for 73, needing 289. Well, they can do it in 6s and 4s.
And they're hitting 6s, aren't they?
Yes, they're very good at hitting 6s.
I thought that was an exceptional... sorry about that, but yeah, I thought that was an exceptional flick that when Sean Marsh left it over the boundary. Exceptional effort from Sean Marsh. That was an exceptional flick in terms of the time that he's got, Rohit Sharma, in hitting 6s.
Yes, it's different to the game I was watching as a kid when you could lean on the fence to take a catch and touching it didn't put you out of bounds. But now you only got to put your toe on the rope. Now he swings at the first ball of this over, and that's gone through mid-wicket a little uncomfortably for a couple of runs. There was a swat like he was killing a large Aussie fly, and managed to get it at catchable height through a diving siddle at mid-wicket. It wasn't pretty to watch, and it very nearly brought him unstuck as he took on Stoinis, and Siddle couldn't quite time his leap there to grab it.
Perhaps a little higher on the bat than he would have liked, but interestingly, he charged down the wicket as well. So he's trying to play a few more shots here, is MS Dhoni.
Stoinis bowls to him, and he pulls again, this time straight to Siddle, who's out there at mid-wicket. So he's trying to lift the game here, try and take on this challenge. They need 214 from 172 balls, which is by no means impossible. It's just a matter of getting a bit more pace in this innings, at least turning the strike and whacking the odd boundary or the odd six. Stoinis bowling his medium pace stuff with the keeper standing back, goes up, Dhoni leaves the ball outside the off stump. So what's the feeling in India? I would have thought that they'd be burning the BCCI house down if they didn't play Dhoni. Well, no, maybe the BCCI don't have a house at the moment.
Well, they do certainly have a house, but it's not in any particular order. I think they're
disorder.
Disorder, yes. I think they're burning the house down to probably not have him in the side. I was just on Twitter just before I came on air, and well, it's a nightmare at the moment.
Stoinis bowls to Dhoni. Dhoni flicks him off the pads and collects a single to the right of Siddle at mid-wicket. 3 for 77. What's the social media on to?
Well, they're talking about the strike rate. They're referring to the Lord's slow innings that Dhoni played last summer, and he actually got booed there, which was surprising because it was a predominantly Indian crowd, just like the one here at Sydney today.
Passionate,
yes. And but I'm not sure if they know their cricket yet, because obviously India was struggling here, and perhaps they're judging too harshly in terms of strike rate. India obviously playing to a plan.
Stoinis bowls, and Rohit Sharma whips him away off the pads, takes only one, because the throw's on its way from deep square. Yes, I think they've obviously got to try and turn things around here, but this experience and composure out there, and this match is really only a net in the totality of all the games leading into the World Cup.
Absolutely. I mean, yes, it is a bilateral series. You want to win a bilateral series. India's record in ODI bilaterals in Australia isn't that particularly good.
Stoinis goes up and he bowls a bouncer. That could be a wide. It is too high down the leg side. Well, it wasn't too good in the semi-final here, was it? The World Cup in 2015?
No, it wasn't.
Dhoni couldn't get the ball off the square.
Neither could Virat Kohli. He was out cheaply that day as well. But again, India haven't won. They won the 1985 World Series Championship. And then they won the CB Series here in 2008.
Yep.
Those are the standout ODI victories for India on Australian soil. So in that particular sense, yes, this is an important series.
Here comes Stoinis, nudged away for a single into the covers by Dhoni, just to the right of Nathan Lyon. It ends the over. It's 3 for 79 after 22 overs. Sharma 41 and Dhoni on 29. Chetan Narula has joined us here for the commentary here, getting an Indian perspective on the importance of this game and the consequence of what's coming up. In India's record in England's not too bad. Champions Trophy.
No,
World
two Champions Trophy, in fact. And, well, 1983 World Cup, who can forget that? Changed Indian cricket forever.
I was there. I've never seen a bigger fall of ego in my life than the West Indies batting that game.
And I wasn't even conceived then. So
Sorry.
I should say that it's such a pleasure to be talking to you here.
Farouk Engineer. He kept saying to me as the match went, 33-1. I go, 33-1.
Must have been a remarkable day. Must have been a remarkable game of cricket. Remarkable atmosphere too, apparently. I was talking to
West
Madan
Indies should have won it in a doddle, but the ego got them, I'm afraid.
I was talking to Madan Lal, and he said that they only had one champagne of bottle in the Indian dressing room, while the West Indies dressing room had so many crates of champagne. But who would go and ask?
They didn't. They should have given it to them.
No, I don't think they would have dared.
They weren't chasing a big score, but somehow they managed to get themselves out as Siddle was tucked away to the onside. And on full credit to India for doing that with Roger Michael Humphrey Binney. He was in the team.
Balwinder Sandhu, Madan Lal, Kapil Dev, Roger Binney, the architects in terms of bowling of that World Cup. And of course, Mohinder Amarnath with the bat and the ball in the semi-final and the final.
Yes, it was a remarkable effort by India to get to the final and then to beat the West Indies, who were a juggernaut at that period of time and almost unbeatable in any series, any form of the game. Siddle bowls a ball that's driven away out over and around cover towards the boundary for 4. That is a very good shot from Sharma, and he can play them, plenty of them. The crowd love that. Sharma 45 on the extra cover drive, 3 for 84.
And of course, in all this talk about MS Dhoni, we've forgotten about Rohit Sharma totally. But I think he is the important wicket here, because once he gets set and he gets going, he can really accelerate. So that that difference in required run rate, he can really make it up in no time.
Yes, a ball beater. Siddle bowls to him, and he gets a change of pace, and he just adjusts and tucks it away towards long on with a carefully constructed shot. 3 for 85, Sharma on 46.
And just while we're talking about 1983, before that World Cup, India had toured West Indies and they beat them in an ODI. And again, I was talking to Madan Lal, and he said that that's where they got the confidence that they could beat West Indies. Yeah. So yes, so my point is that yes, in the build-up to this World Cup,
in goes Siddle, bowls to Dhoni. Dhoni knocks it into the covers off the back foot, but he doesn't score a run.
So in the build-up to this 2019 World Cup, yes, these ODIs matter in the bilateral sense, but it's the World Cup that's what really matters. You look at Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Dhoni, they're just trying to get the rhythm going, just trying to get the flow going, and I think, like you said, so aptly put, that it's a long net session in terms of what's going to happen this summer.
Peter Siddle down at the Randwick end of the Sydney cricket ground, comes up to Dhoni. Dhoni turns him with the line of the ball off the stumps around the corner for a single and moves to 32. It's 3 for 86. So what is India's best 11 at the moment? If you look down the page that's playing today, it's some of these and a few others.
I think Virat Kohli, Shikhar Dhawan, Rohit Sharma, they are nailed on. It's the most fearsome top order in ODI cricket at the moment. Obviously, they didn't score too many runs, the two of them. Rohit Sharma still there.
Here's Siddle again, moving into bowl to Sharma, who walks across and defends on the offside. At the end of the 23rd over, India 3 for 86, need 289.
So they played Dinesh Karthik today and Khalil Ahmed, but that's because of the absence of Hardik Pandya, because he provides the all-round aspect. So if he was there, maybe they wouldn't have played Khalil. Pandya would have played ahead of Khalil, and instead of Dinesh, we might have had Kedar Jadhav.
Yep. And Bumrah.
And of course, we would have probably had Jasprit Bumrah ahead of Mohammad Shami. So India are still deciding who are the two pacers they want to take, along with Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Jasprit Bumrah.
So what's their top 5-6 batting?
That's the thing. Their middle order is a bit undecided because Ambati Rayudu has had a good 2 series, the Asia Cup and the West Indies at home, but they were in conditions different from those now in Australia, New Zealand and England. So I think the number 4 is still undecided, but they will give him a run at least for the next 8 matches to figure it out.
So they won't be looking at Rahane? He'd be in there somewhere?
Surprisingly, he had a run of 6 matches in South Africa, had just 1 half-century. Started it off well, half-century in Durban, had a great partnership with Virat Kohli, but just, couldn't repeat that throughout the series.
Maxwell's come into the attack over the wicket. He bowls the ball that's played away by Dhoni into the offside. So Maxwell batted at 7 today, only faced 5 balls, but the job had certainly been done by those who were given the chance ahead of him, Stoinis and Hanscom. He comes up and tosses it to Dhoni, who goes around the pad and knocks it out to mid-wicket. So Maxwell is one of the all-round types Australia have got to toy with in their mix, and he's swept hard the backward square. It was a chance of sorts, and it burst through the hands of the man out there as he tried, I think it was Richardson, diving away to his left. It was in the air. Don't know whether he got a paw on that, but it was hard hit as he went away to... Did he get a hand on it? And maybe got a finger. I won't call that a chance. It would have been a miracle.
For the last few shots he's played, they've all been in the air and close to the fielders.
Yep. He's down the pitch now, flipping the ball around the corner and getting a single. Dhoni moves along a little precariously to 36. Sharma's 46. Yes, it would have been a miracle. It was way to his left as he flung his hand out at the square leg, and then it went for 4. Sharma on strike now, and he goes inside out over backward point. He's carved that away towards the boundary. It's got a bit of spin on it. It will be just tucked back inside. No. It was chased out towards the boundary by Siddle, and he couldn't cut it off. 4 runs. I think it's 4 runs. We're just checking. We don't want the Azhar Ali, do we? Rohit Sharma reaches 50 from 62 balls. It's 3 for 95. Sliced boundary. Taking on Maxwell, tossing it up. And pretty secure in his method, even though he knew he might hit it in the air. Maxwell goes up to him and he waits on this and drives it into the covers. Doesn't get a run. So that's the end of Maxwell's first over. And Adrian Tam doing the scoring very neatly here. 9 runs from Maxwell's first over. Australia have tried 6 bowlers, and we've seen Dhawan out for a duck, Kohli 3, Raidu a duck, and this partnership came together when the score was 4, and they've taken it to 95.
And he had also made a slowish start compared to Dhoni's slowish. I think he had 6 of 25 balls when he started off, Rohit, because of all the carnage that Richardson and Behrendorff caused at the top of the Indian order. But now he's got 50 of 63 balls, quite a few big shots in there, and that's what Rohit Sharma does. He makes up lost time very, very quickly. Gets those big shots in. One of the easiest 6 hitters that I've ever seen.
Now Dhoni's got Dr. Farhad out there, as we would call him, Pat Farhad, the physio. Yeah. He's looked to be swallowing a couple of pills out there. A bit dehydrated. What's happened to him?
Maybe some cramps, maybe a sore back.
Well, get to 37, these things can happen.
Well, he's been out in the sun throughout the day.
Has he played any cricket in the last month?
No, he hasn't. There've been calls for him to play first-class cricket, but it doesn't really make sense because he's retired from the longer format of the game. So he's had a nice little break ever since he was rested from the T20 series against the West Indies.
So he's got a pretty cushy life at the moment, hasn't he? He can just sort of say, I'm ready to play now, you better pick me.
Well, that's one way to put it.
He does have some proprietorial right, it seems, to a place in any Indian team.
To me, it just seems that the selectors and the team management, of course, have just decided that they need Dhoni at the World Cup, given his input from behind the wicket in terms of DRS, in terms of how he helps the 2 wrist spinners. They're very young, very inexperienced, but they've done well with his help. And he obviously, helps man the field as well, because half of the innings Virat Kohli likes to field at the boundary. So to me, it's like the selectors and team management have decided that he is going to the World Cup, come what may.
How's his relationship with Kohli?
I think it's a good relationship. There's a lot of respect there. And obviously he takes his advice on important matters such as DRS and field placements?
Well, wicketkeeper's normally in the best position to make the call. So he's sorted himself out and he's ready. Richardson comes up to bowl and he goes back, wants a run, sent back by Rohit Sharma as it went straight out towards Khawaja at mid-wicket. India 3 for 95 in the 25th over. Sharma 50, Dhoni 36 from 72 balls. And although they've recovered, they've got to keep this rolling along if they're to have a crack at that target.
Well, that run rate is still under 4.
Jai Richardson races in. Dhoni goes back. He gets a run this time. Hit it square on the onside. And Sharma has the strike. Dhoni 37, 3 for 96 in this 25th over. A glorious evening here in Sydney. Bright, sunny. We haven't even got to the point of the lights coming into play. We're still going mainly on the natural light. And a very good crowd of around 35,000. And they've moved back into that spot that was declared unsafe for some time down in the Churchill stand. Richardson bowls. Rohit Sharma knocks it away and they get an easy run as it trickles down towards third man. 3 for 97. So you've been following these fellas for quite some time?
Since 2012. I've been on a few lucky to be on a few overseas tours, I should put it like that. My third trip to Australia. Love it here.
Who are you writing for mainly?
Mainly for the Press Trust of India, but since I'm a freelancer, I'm free to write for a couple of other websites and newspapers as well.
Here's Richardson to Dhoni. He may have hit the pad. They go for a single as it trickles out through the square leg. And umpire golf indicates it's a leg by. How many newspapers, outlets of that sort of online are there in India?
Oh, there are numerous, maybe thousands of them.
Thousands.
Thousands of them. I mean, we had quite a big contingent for the Test series here, didn't we? The Indian contingent.
Well, it was worth being here as Rohit Sharma watches and plays another little chopping shot using the pace of the ball to send it away, steer it down to third man. 3 for 99. And how many of those online productions or newspapers would be in English?
I think about 30 to 40%, because there's a lot of regional language newspaper or regional language journalism, in fact, prevalent in India as well. So quite a few in terms of regional languages and English, and then obviously Hindi.
Richardson bowls short. He tries to pull. Played over it, just neatly taken behind to end the over. 3 for 99. Corbin Middlemass is going to come in. Sharman's on 52 and Dhoni 37. Chetan, nice to be with you. You'll be joined by Corbin in a moment.